Hello, everybody. I just want to let you know about my Lightboard. I made a Lightboard to help me with school. Just kind of showing you behind the scenes a little bit of what I did here. So to make a Lightboard, which is a piece of plexiglass, in my case, a piece of plexiglass that I can write on. It allows me to write on it. And I'm standing in front of it, right in front of the camera. So the Lightboard is behind me, but I will show you here in a minute what it's all about. I bought a piece of plexiglass that's 1/4 inch thickness. Plexiglass is 24 by 36 inches, so 2 feet by 36, but 2 feet by 3 feet. So just kind of enough for me to kind of be up here like that, and then you can't see my belly. Just kind of wide enough for me to be able to write. So again, it's behind me, but I want to show you. So this is a laundry, or rather, I should say, a garment rack. It's got wheels. It's like to hang stuff on, right? So there's some flimsier ones at Walmart. This cost a little bit more at Target, but I mean, it's worth it because it can't be too flimsy because I'm going to be writing on this board behind me. And I bought a couple pieces of wood, 1 inch thickness by 3 feet, by 3 inches wide. And I got some clamps, and that's what's holding up the piece of glass here that you can see. So above me, if you will, here is a light that's facing the speaker. Again, right now I'm in front of it. I'm in front of the camera, in front of the Lightboard. But so my laptop is recording me. I'm going to be on the other side, but I just wanted to show you that. So basically, it's a piece of, so the magic happens, excuse me, from a piece of LED tape. So this is the tape, right? It's very, very thin. Looks like DNA or something, but those little black marks, that's where the light and electricity happen. So that's where the light, little light, mini light bulbs are. It's very, very thin. There's a piece of adhesive behind it. And so what I did was I rolled out the adhesive and maybe a little bit more than I needed, and I adhered it to the bottom. So I put some black electric tape because there was this glare that kind of takes 4 or 5 inches, about 4 inches away from screen space, if you will. There is a glare of the screen there showing. So I'm going to lower the screen brightness so that it'll be a lot less of a glare. And I know it's a little bit dark, but I'm going to stand behind where I should be as a teacher, if you will, behind the Lightboard so the magic can happen. On my side of the plexiglass, I bought some clamps that are for mirrors, for holding up a mirror against the wall. And the thickness, again, is 1/4 inch. So some things to consider is that my camera is set so that it automatically flips the screen horizontally. Otherwise, I would have to write backwards. So it appears right now that I'm writing left-handed. But see, my DNA allows me to raise my right eyebrow. I can't do that with my left. But the screen is reversed, and therefore, this is my right hand, and yet it appears that it may be my left hand. Right? So it's great for, like, a Venn diagram type situation. And I can definitely write that bigger so I have space, right, to compare, World War I and World War II or whatever we're talking about. The markers that I'm using are neon dry erase markers. They're at Office Depot, and you can order them online. Walmart says they have them, but they don't. You can use a dry erase chalk marker that's really more for glass. The fine print. Let me find right quick the not box, but the bag or whatever it's called. So I can't find the box, but it's this brand called Ubi. So the brand is called Ubi, and they do make some chalk markers that are made for glass. So something that's for windows or glass and something neon, that kind of thing will help. So there's room light, because I wanted to kind of show you the big picture, if you will. But I'm gonna lower it to sort of just show you this here. So what happens is the magic happens is that LED light that's underneath the plexiglass, because of the law of refraction, it shoots up light into the inside of this plexiglass. So if you wanted to, if you have the money and the time and so on, you can maybe get an actual piece of glass. This is plexiglass, and that's maybe a little more forgiving, the glass. But the plexiglass can scratch easily, and you really have to kind of get a good glass cleaner and a microfiber cloth to clean this. You do not want to use Windex Yelp for this. You need to get a good quality glass cleaner, so that, because again, it's very unforgiving with these neon markers and so on, and this plexiglass, like you will see, nasty streaks or whatever if you don't take your time to really clean it well. And so you could see, that it's very unforgiving. It's going to be very, blurry and that sort of thing if you don't put some elbow grease in there and get the right tools. So I'll give it one more shot here so we can really make this work. And because my camera allows me to flip myself horizontally automatically, because of that, I can go ahead and be live. I'm pre-recording this, but I can be live with my students, facing them in Google Meets and seeing their, hearing them and seeing their questions, seeing their responses, and having a live discussion. If I'm pre-recording myself, well, it's just going to be me listen to my lovely voice without that student interaction, which is why I went ahead and made this investment. The glass was not found locally. The plexiglass, it was from Amazon. Let me go ahead and write down the ingredients, if you will. So the plexiglass I found on Amazon, and I went with a 1/4 inch thick plexiglass, and the size that I have here is 24 inches by 36 inches. And so, you got to play with the camera, angle and that sort of thing. So right now you can't see the whole screen because of, where the computer is or whatever. So I have to, make it go back a little bit and sort of make it work. Now it's a horizontally flipped situation. So, it's not perfect, and neither is my curtain. So things that, little things like that kind of, you have to tweak. You have to wear something dark. You can barely see that computer screen on my chest right there, the reflection of it, I mean. So above me, there's a camera, facing me. And the plexiglass is important, of course, or you can have actual glass. You can have holes drilled into the plexiglass or the glass. If you're going to go with the glass, you cannot get regular window glass. You have to have a glass that is low iron content, because otherwise it won't work with the law of refraction. So you have to work on something like that. And so for math teachers and so on, you can make some magic happen, show your work, show your students kind of what you're thinking, or how to solve something like this, or whatever, and then because my camera automatically flips, again, I can be live and I can ask my students, okay, what's the next step? Or did I, forget to do this or whatever? I can call out a certain student and say, okay, what's the next step? And have that interaction. And it's not about my face or whatever. I can play with the lighting and make myself more sort of visible, if you will. And if that's necessary. And if this is too much, I can get rid of that and just have the room light in my particular space, which is my laundry room. This kind of works for me because because in most cases you don't want light on the other side of the glass because there's going to be, again, that reflection. Right now, all of a sudden, you could see some of my navy stuff like on the wall, like over here in this section right here on the wall. I'm just being picky because of the light situation, you know, because of where it's bouncing and whatever. So there's this black, you know, curtain behind me, and it's not perfect, but this is what it takes. So the light kit that I bought was, let me see. It's from Good Earth, and it's not an LED rope light. It's an LED tape. All right, so it's LED tape light. It's between $16 and $25 or so at Lowe's. They do have some of that here locally, at least. Of course, online for sure, Amazon as well. And so definitely try to get with a local contractor for glass. Piece of glass like this would be probably about $70 at a discount for teachers. You know, if you could talk to them and say, look, this is what's up. Everything can be recycled, you know, basically. So I will be using this like as for corners in my room once we go live, like in person, or I'll recycle this garment rack. If I don't use it in the classroom, I'll donate it to Salvation Army or Habitat for Humanity. I built something like this years ago with a whiteboard for my classroom with very, very few, you know, spaces to write. And I'm a writing teacher, an English teacher. So I built something like this before, just like a garment rack with, you know, and I attached the whiteboard to it. But this is, you know, a different dimension. And this is like, you know, like the future and stuff. Hopefully my students will get something out of this. I know that I will, because I cannot be sitting like literally for 8 hours. Like I have to stand, and I'm standing now. I'm able to, you know, see my students. I'm interact with them, and yeah, it's going to take a few minutes to, you know, erase the board and kind of clean it and whatever. But depending on the concepts that we're talking about, this is going to be a lot. It's going to help me a lot. So, math teachers, science teachers, especially, I know that you're looking for something like this, so that you don't have to face, give your back to the camera, if you will. All right, so we'll catch y'all next time. Good luck out there.